From this client, we could potentially have a sale of a giant house, purchase of two smaller houses, and then step ups for both of them after that. So this could potentially be 5 transactions in the next 3 years from this one person. This is so fun.
Thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
You're doing a great job.
All right, so our branding workshop, I'm going to just first set the stage as far as what the purpose is. In short, the purpose of the branding workshop is to bridge the gap between design and strategy. So, because normally what happens is that design sits here, strategy sits here, and there's generally a break. It's evident based on the website, based on marketing collateral. What's great here is that we are going to start creating the assets as the next step. What generally tends to happen is that the assets are already created and then we go through this workshop, and then my question is, well, does this resemble your brand? And 99% the answer is going to be a big no. So that's in short what we're going to do, and it's going to be 3 components to the branding workshop. Vision mapping will be number 1, and we're going to spend 30 minutes on that. And then we're going to go into brand voice. This is the look and feel of the brand. Parallel brands that we admire, not exclusive to real estate, but just any brands that kind of, you guys think resemble the type of real estate brand which you'd like to create. And we're going to spend 15 minutes on that. And we're going to do tone of voice, which is how the brand communicates. That's going to be 15 minutes as well. And then lastly, we're going to do personas, and that's going to be 30 minutes. Sound good? All right, perfect. Now, I do want to I'm going to be pretty militant with the times. The times are meant to force us to think intentionally. Vision mapping can get wild and crazy. We could easily spend the whole 90 minutes on vision mapping. So the question is, it's 2030, right? The year 2030, 5 years from now.
That feels like it's 30 years from now, but okay.
Right? Crazy. Crazy. Look back at your real estate brand, which I normally just do RE for short. Look back at your real estate brand and tell me what's made you happy. All right? Now, I want to be clear that this vision mapping exercise, it's not tactics, it's not strategy, it's your chance to dream big and dream wild. All right? And then what we're going to do is, based on the vision that we carve out, we then reverse engineer into achieving what we want to accomplish. So I'm going to just take notes here. The floor is over to you and Erica. Let me get my phone out. You guys might want to set a 30-minute timer on your side as well, but I'm going to give you a heads up anyway as we get closer to it. All right, 3, in a 2, in a 1, and let's do it. All right, so it's 2030. Look back at your real estate brand and tell me what's made you happy.
We are rich.
And we're well known in the markets that we want to be well known in.
Okay.
Agents want to work for us.
And we have so much business that we're able to provide leads for all those agents who work with us.
Okay, I'm going to just ask a few probing questions real quick. Define rich for me, please.
I don't know. I want to, in 5 years, I want to make between properties that I am listing and revenue from agents who work for us. I want to make $500,000.
More than that.
Did you say more than that?
Yeah, that's your goal this year.
I know.
In
What
5 years,
was
you
the
want
rich goal?
Half a mil, but Erica says more. So,
Remember, this is 5 years from now.
okay, so what should I double that? I want to make $1 million.
You guys are two very seasoned real estate professionals. I think $1 million is reasonable in a booming market. But Erica's the real estate guru here. Maybe Erica can guide us on what is attainable or isn't.
Um, I would like between our own sales and money that we're making off of the team, I would like to make at least 1.5 in
Okay, then
five
I'm with
years.
Erica. I want that.
Okay. And that is, just to be clear, that is revenue for the business or income for both of you.
I would guess I was combining it.
Okay, that's cool. We can
Or
combine
no,
it.
no, no, sorry. Between myself and the team. So,
She and I are separate, and then we'll have a team under us that are paying into our
Got it.
team. So between the properties that we're each individually listing, selling, plus the revenue from how many agents we've brought on who are paying up into us,
Okay.
1.5 each.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna just put 1.5 each. All right, is that cool? We lock that in? All right. Well known in markets, Erica. What does that mean? What does well known mean and what markets are we talking about?
um, I want to be the go-to agent in my area.
Is that Minneapolis?
No, I'm in Otsego.
Got it. And that's still in Minnesota though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yep.
Yes.
like a Western second tier.
Okay, got it.
Or,
Okay. Okay,
um,
cool. And
I
yeah.
have a handful of pockets. There's a very wealthy pocket of suburbs on
Okay.
the west and southwest side of the Twin Cities,
Okay.
all kind of surrounded by our this like it's like the Hamptons of Minnesota, this lake.
Ah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna write that. Hamptons of Minnesota.
It's where all of the rich people live. It's
I
where
got
the
it.
people who own the sports teams live. It's where
Ah,
like the CEO of Old Dutch lives, and
okay.
it's where all
Gotcha.
the athletes live.
Okay.
Like,
Understood. Perfect. Can you try to define so much business? You know, you mentioned so much business that agents are kept busy. What does that look like in terms of transactions or however you want to define it?
In 5 years, I don't know, 150 transactions for the team.
Cool. And the team counts as, is that you and Kate's both 150? Or is that just your team?
I would like to have the team a total of
Okay.
150.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. All right. This is great. Please keep going.
when people think of us in 5 years, I want people to think not only like, holy shit, are they good at this game, but also like, oh my God, what amazing people. So
Ah,
Hmm.
I want to be like visibly engaged in community organizations and I want us to be people where it's like, oh my God, not only are they incredible in this business, but like we just want to be around them. Like we want to go to their events, we want to be with them. Like good things happen when you're around Kate and Erica.
Hmm.
I'm gonna write that. I like that. Good things happen. Good things happen. I'm just gonna write your initials K-R and A-B. Perfect.
Like often in the real estate game, teams want people to join their team because you make commission off of what they do. And often what that ends up meaning is team leaders will just kind of take whoever because they
Hmm.
want to make the money. And so
Yeah.
that means there are some shitty agents on the team and maybe some slimy agents on the team. And we don't want any of that.
Yeah, I
We
gotcha.
want, even right from the very beginning, even though we are money hungry right now, we like people have to interview to join our team. Like we have currently been just like hand plucking who we see around us who we'd like to join our team. And I want it to continue to kind of be that, like an invitation only kind of
Oh, I like that. That's
deal.
great.
Like
Mhm.
it's
Hmm.
exclusive to be on our team.
All right, perfect.
Did you put stuff about like we want to build partnerships with local companies and be involved with the community? Did you write that?
No, I didn't.
What type of partnerships?
Where they're again, like if they have people coming in that they're going to refer to us for real estate needs.
And would it be individuals only, or would you also be striking any B2B partnerships or
Yeah,
Yeah,
B2B.
definitely. Yeah.
okay. And what types of businesses are these? These private equity funded businesses? Are these Fortune 500 businesses? Emerging tech businesses?
That's a great question. I
Such good
don't know.
questions.
Let's pin that then.
Well, one of the things that Erica has talked about is wanting to also be kind of a go-to for transplants, people moving into the Twin Cities. We have so many headquarters of so many major corporations here that people are coming and going a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Are there any CrossFit gyms in premium areas?
Yeah,
Since Minnesota is
for
known
sure.
for the CrossFit capital, isn't it? That
We,
could,
we do a lot of CrossFit.
yeah. Is that appealing?
Yeah, I mean, all the clients I've had so far have come from the CrossFit gym,
Ah,
from two different CrossFit gyms. And our newest agent who's coming on um, is also from a CrossFit gym.
okay. Can I write that down on the
Sure,
board? Premium CrossFit gyms?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys, because you mentioned the transplants, are you guys looking into like partnering for like relocation, sort of like with the companies? That's what you would be partnering with them for?
Yeah.
Is that like, okay.
What are clients saying about your brand that makes you over the moon?
Like how good we are, which blows my mind because I feel like we're just normal people doing the job.
Hmm.
It's the job. But people like rave about how good we are, which it just feels like how many horrible agents are out there. And I've heard so many horror stories. And I I have a client right now who they have both purchased and sold homes in the past with agents and did not go back to their agents and instead sought me out. And just hearing some of their stories, I'm like, oh my God, there are just so many bad agents out in
Hmm.
the world. And so I have seen Erica at work before I joined it, before I became an agent. And so I know that people just really trust Erica. She's super honest. She's very clear. She's a great communicator. Um, she'll be super honest about things. I will be super honest about things. And so I always hear that people just really trust Erica. They
Mhm.
trust that if she tells them to consider something, that it's something they actually should consider. Like she's not just talking. I think that that is something that's important that I would really like to carry, that we are just like very, very trustworthy. Like we are not going to steer you in a weird direction. We're not ever just going to try to make a sale.
That's great. Thanks, Kate. That was lovely. Erica, would you have anything additional? Although I think Kate said a lot about how great you are. So would
Yeah.
you please?
No, no, I agree. I think just we want to be known for our our customer service and making the transaction smooth and easy and knowing what we're doing. Um, Along with not being pushy and salesy. Like we just want to be known that we want the best for our clients and not for ourselves.
We want to just always, with the agents and with our clients, we want to attract. We
Uh-huh.
want who we
Magnetic
are
energy.
to be so loud that people are drawn to us.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote magnetic energy.
That
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah.
I like it.
Perfect. All right. Now, and I think you've alluded to some of this. What are customers saying about your brand that makes you eat your heart up because of all the negative things that they are writing? What are they saying?
What did you ask? What
So,
negative
what would
things they're
make you
saying?
crawl inside? So, you see a one-star review on your Google My Business
Oh,
page.
oh,
Like, what,
gross.
what are people?
Oh.
What are they saying that is making you like, wow, like I can't believe that they said that about us?
You're talking about in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
If someone said that we weren't trustworthy
Yeah. That would definitely hit the hardest.
or not educated,
Mm.
Or that we were just transactional and didn't really put ourselves into it.
hmm
Anything else that comes to mind? What are partners saying? Why might partners not want to work with you, perhaps, in this hypothetical situation?
Worst case
um,
scenario in my mind is that a partner says we didn't take care of the referral that they sent, that they had to clean
mhm.
up their own reputation because of somebody they referred to us.
Another thing that I would hate that I've heard other partnerships say about people they're working with is that we just ask, or take, and never give anything back.
Yes. That's a good one. And that applies, I would say, universally across any business.
hmm
Like recently, I had referred a client to another agency operator that does CRM implementations. And I said to him outright, I was like, all right, that's the next one's on you, man. Because, if you think that I'm going to keep sending and sending and sending, like you've got this all wrong,
Right.
So yeah, absolutely right. Um, Anything else? This is a good list. Also, just to be clear, when I say anything else, it doesn't mean that you need to give me more. This is just me probing. That's all.
Sure.
I mean, I think
Can
that
I
kind of
bet?
sums it up.
Okay. Can I ask another follow-up
Of
on
course.
a
Yep.
separate thing? How has the brand evolved from helping people buy luxury residential real estate or big ass houses in the burbs, as you put it, to, for instance, other things like you had mentioned in the initial call, property management. I think you also mentioned expanding into real estate investment. So, is this going to be in the next 5 years, would you say? Or would you want to further solidify residential still?
That's a really good question.
Thanks.
Um, I think that toward the maturity of the first 5 years, I would like to start creating a name around investment knowledge and investment strategy. But I also don't want to skirt through our relationship building and brand building. I feel like it's important to set ourselves up in those spaces really well first, because those rich people with their big ass houses in the wealthy burbs are the ones who are going to be want to buying investment properties as well. And so I feel like first building our brand with them is going to make the next step easy.
hmm
Yep.
I also don't want to short sheet any of the elements of our business. And so I would hate to spread ourselves too thin. on trying to do too many things right out the gate.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Because Erica especially already has her transaction coordinating business and the real estate business. And so I would hate to be like, okay, Erica, now you've got transaction coordinating, you've got real estate, you've got investing. Now let's just put 1,700 things on your plate.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When it comes to the team, uh, how has the team evolved over the course of 5 years? What would you like to see them doing more of, less of?
I would love to have a team of thought leaders,
Ooh, that's good.
content creators themselves. I would love for our team to be known for being kind of cutting edge, that they're creative and doers and all very successful in their own rights.
I would also like our team to be known for our training,
Mhm.
as far as training new agents too. Or not even new agents, just agents who are shitty, and we train them to be better.
Yeah.
Lesson one, how not to suck. Content.
Would you like to see your team sourcing partnership opportunities, or would that generally live with you both?
I think generally it would live with us, but like Kate said, we would like them to be thinking about who we could potentially partner with to make our entire team stronger and themselves.
I've got brand growth conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love, it goes along with the kind of the thought leadership. I would love to have a team of experts and specialists where it's like we have people who are really passionate about different parts of real estate. So maybe we have somebody who is an expert in farms, or maybe we have someone who's an expert in multi-unit
Hmm.
apartment buildings. And maybe, I would like to, so if somebody comes to us and says, hey, this is what my need is, we're like, hey, we have somebody who is spectacular at this.
Mhm.
And here they are.
Does commercial fall into that? Commercial
I
real
would
estate?
I would love to open up a commercial side. Commercial is initially why I wanted to get into real estate.
Okay.
But I don't know where that fits into our business model or our growth timeline.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I would love to get into commercial.
Do you view commercial the same way that you view as real estate investment, i.e., not spreading yourself too thin and focusing on establishing?
Yeah,
Oh
Gotcha.
yeah.
definitely.
Cool. Okay.
Because there's still, I mean, there are things that I'm going to need to do personally
Yeah.
to learn about that, become an expert in that, and then be
Yes.
able to kind of open that side of it. So there's a lot of like personal development I'll need to do to
Yep.
be able to get to that space.
Gotcha. Got it. Would you like to expand beyond Minnesota?
I don't have a desire to do that, at least not within the next 5 years, but maybe eventually,
Yeah, maybe eventually.
Florida or something.
Sure.
Yeah, you're always welcome to Miami Beach. You guys would do very well here.
Go hang out with us. Yeah, definitely not in the first 5 years. I don't want to get licensed in a million different states.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
But it depends on kind of what areas of the business really take off. If the investment side of the business starts to really take off, then it would make sense for us to maybe also get licensed in Florida and help people
Yeah,
buy,
yeah,
Airbnb properties and
Hmm.
whatever.
yeah. Perfect. All right, cool. What is our time? We are at, oh my God, nice. 1 minute and 50 seconds left.
Oh, yeah.
This is your final call for anything else that you'd like to throw on the
Speak now.
vision mapping side of things.
I
Make it
think
count.
I think you get it. I know Erica mentioned this, but just want to make sure it's called out that we want to give back to the community. Like we want to partner with community organizations that aren't necessarily for business purposes, but just because we are a company that gives a shit about our community and want to be a part of things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the final question from me is, are we talking about, I'm just making up stuff here, like dog rescue homes, like what types of philanthropic, I know that speaks to your heart, Kate, I didn't do that unintentionally.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Minneapolis, the Twin Cities does a lot of really wonderful community work. I don't know, we're like a very like socialist city. So we have like a lot of cool community programs for youth or the unhoused, or it'd be cool to like partner with a housing organization. I don't know. There's just a lot available around us for
Mhm.
ways to like get involved in the community because there are a lot of organizations that would make that easy.
Would Section 8 fall into it?
Maybe. Yeah.
We had wrote down last week when we talked about it too, we would like to have 20 agents on the team in the next 5 years.
Okay, let's write that. All right. Next phase of the workshop is going to be our brand voice. And that is,
This is so fun.
thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
You're
That
doing
means
a
a lot,
great job.
actually. Thank you. Appreciate it. The look and feel of the brand. And to start with, so we're going to do this. This one is going to be more of a quick fire round, you could say. We've got 15 minutes allocated to this, and then we've got 15 minutes allocated towards tone of voice. So the first thing that we will start on the brand voice side are going to be the parallel brands that you both admire that are reflective of the brand that you'd like to create. We also have a list that we've created, but why don't you guys?
Oh, fun. Erica has the notes that we took.
Lovely.
Yes.
All right.
Yep, we
Yep.
have Noble,
One sec. I'm just going to write my brands. All right. Noble.
and Agent Media.
Was that it?
That's what we've got so far.
All right. Can we give you some of ours?
Yes.
All right. And you can, of course, say no, you don't like it.
I'll give my opinions.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. And we've got little sub bullets as well as to why we have chosen these. So I'll give you the brand and why. So first up is Airbnb, because they are industry disruptors in the form of how they are creating their ads. And then we've got Christian Louboutin, red bottom shoes brand. It's a premium and trendy brand. Specifically, I would say, well, I don't want to say specifically, but a large core of their audience are millennials and Gen Xers, which is the target market that you both are aspiring for. The third one is Soho House. Soho House, if you're not familiar, is just a very a premium community house where you pay about $3,000 a year. All of the celebrities hang out there. All of the wealthy people that you would probably want to mingle with are there. I would phrase it as sophisticated community building.
Love that.
And then we have a few others. The W Hotel, because it's more of a contemporary
I do
luxury.
like a W.
It's good. And then we have Etihad Airways. They are also they're known for their service and the experience that they provide in the air. And then we have a couple of ski resorts, Vale and Whistler. Again, bringing people together, it's very experiential, also very premium. And then the last one is pretty out of the box, I would say, and it's The Ridge, which is it's a wallet brand. They have a very unique approach in an extremely stale industry.
Are we good to lock the brands in and move on to the brand voice?
Yep.
All right. So we're doing pretty good on time. So we've got about half of our time left, so 7 minutes. The next piece of this is going to be, so I would like 10 visually stimulating words that describe the look and feel of your brand. We have a list of 10 as well. So, but you go first.
Clean.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Clean.
Clean.
Okay.
Elevated.
Ambition.
I'm going to ask you a question, and this is not a leading question. It's a genuine question. How do you look like you have ambition?
I think there's like strong.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Engaging.
Yeah.
We wrote down last week modern.
Oh yeah. Five more, if you have them.
I don't know how to answer how you look like this, but we wrote down trustworthy.
I would group that in tone of voice, personally.
Okay. That's all I got on my list.
Okay. Shall we give you some of ours? Yeah. All right. Once again, take, reject, or take nothing. We like to merge words together. Doesn't need to be, quote, grammatically correct, per se. So we have contemporary luxury, refreshingly sleek, vibrant, warm, nature-inspired, authentic, bold, dynamic, and playful. Any of those catch your attention or not really?
I like contemporary luxury,
Cool.
warm and bold.
So we've got warm, contemporary luxury.
What was the second one you had? Something sleek.
Refreshingly sleek.
Refreshingly sleek. I like that one.
Yeah.
But like also warm. Like I don't know how you're refreshingly sleek and warm at the same time, but whatever that.
Ah, okay.
Your mind, that's it. That's exactly what the purpose of this exercise is to, there are going to be words on the list that clash. And I'm about to get to that in just a moment. But before I do, are we good to lock in those?
What are the 9 that we have? Will you read them aloud to us?
Yes. Clean, elevated, ambition/strong, engaging, modern, warm, contemporary luxury, bold, and refreshingly sleek.
I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. Lovely. All right. So now what we are going to do is we are going to take these 10 words and we are going to trim them down to 5.
No, no.
Oh yeah. So
Kate, how do you feel about getting rid of engaging? I don't know how you would look
yeah,
engaging.
I'm definitely with you on that one.
Sure. Works for me.
Again, this is hard. I like a lot of them, but if I had to choose, I'd probably get rid of refreshingly sleek.
Kate, that was one of your picks. Are we going to have a debate on our hands or what?
Priya and I are going to start throwing bows in a second. I will get rid of refreshingly sleek as long as you do not touch clean.
Yeah, I want clean. That's my top one.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think clean, elevated, contemporary luxury are kind of like the top three in my mind right now.
Hmm.
Are you in agreement, Erica?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So then,
I'm pleased to say we completed the exercise because after the five, I was going to get you down to trim it down to three, actually.
Oh, cool.
So,
Great. Erica, was there
so
another word you want to fight me for this?
yeah, is
No,
good? Yeah,
no, I think this is great.
Okay.
cool. Now, just to be clear, these words are not necessarily out of the window. All right, we view these as the tentacles to these. All right, but when it comes to core brand, we're going to be focusing on clean, elevated, and contemporary luxury. But for instance, you mentioned engaging. And I had a thought actually. A way that you can look engaging is by creating cool MTV Cribs like tours, create using animations like Airbnb, 3D graphics. This is how we create an engaging visual identity.
Hmm.
Is through some of these elements that we can
Sure.
incorporate. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. We get to lock those in, going once, twice, and thrice.
Good.
All right. So now we will move on to tone of voice. Kate, I'm sure that you're going to smash this one out of the park, given that you are a powerhouse communicator. So, how we communicate. So these words are going to be more descriptive in nature. Think about how is our website going to read? What's the ad copy going to look like? What are our marketing materials going to look like? That type of thing. So I'm going to reset the clock.
Kate, do you want to start? Or I guess, how are these different from the last words?
So the last words are going to be what your brand looks like. So this is going to be the color palette, the imagery that we use, the graphics, the animation style, so on and so forth. This is going to be what we're talking about here is more how do we want people to feel when they read some of the language that we are putting out if we're creating market reports and things like that. I'm going to give you one of ours, all right, just to kind of get the ball rolling. So
Okay.
one of the words that we had was no BS. All right. So very direct in the way that we communicate, straightforward.
Yeah, where I keep getting stuck in my head before the words come out is I want to make sure that we are professional enough for the wealthy business people to trust us, but that we are also like using humor and approachable.
I got the word. It's already on my list.
Go on.
Colloquially professional is what I put down.
I'm into it.
We got that telepathy energy going, okay.
I do want our communication to be clean. So I know that's a word from our visuals, but also in how we communicate. I don't want to be wordy.
Concise?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. I want to read as connected. Like the language we use is all joining language, not like talking at you language.
Okay, got it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just put that down. All right, not talking at. Do you think relatable would fall into that?
Yes, I would love
Yeah.
to be relatable.
That was one on my list.
I just don't want to be boring. Like I just feel like so many real estate agents and sites and ads are just like all the same, and they're so dry and they're so boring and they're so dull and they're so nondescript. And I just don't want to be that.
I have a word for that on my list.
Go on.
Witty. Would that,
Yeah, witty works.
Erica, do you like it?
Yeah, I was just thinking
know,
like when
I'm
she was
getting,
talking about that.
I'm not getting like the same conviction that I got with some
I,
of the others.
I don't know about witty. Well, I'm just thinking of some of the things that we've recently done with our social media as far as like videos and stuff. And I think like people have said it's just fun and playful. It's not just
Playful is a good one.
it's not boring. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
like
playful.
playful.
Yeah.
That was a word that I had for the look and feel. That's good. All right, 1, 2, 3. We got 4.
Approachable.
Yeah.
I know we want to work with like high-end people, but I want people to also feel that they can come to us even if they're looking for a 400. If we're gonna shoot for those $1 million listings, people need to approach us and we can always pass them off to our team.
Yeah. Should I give you one from my list?
Sure.
Yeah.
Education forward. Is that important?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we want to be thought leaders. So
Let's put that. Let's put thought
thought
leaders.
leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put straightforward? Did we say that?
No, we didn't. I had no BS, but we could put straightforward.
Same.
I mean, same
I didn't
thing,
put that down though on the board. If you would like me to put, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 more, if you have.
Friendly? Or is that same as approachable?
I would say, let's put it down. Just put it down for now.
Authentic.
Yeah. Oh, Akil had a suggestion. Relevant.
Relevant.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
You know what the deal is.
Trim it down to 5.
I really like the first one. I don't even know how to say that word. Colloquially.
Colloquially professional.
Yeah,
So
I
close.
think I think we could use that and get rid of approachable just because I mean those kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Mhm. I really want to keep playful.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think relevant is important.
Yeah, agreed. I like authentic as well.
Yes, that's a good one.
We got one more.
Did we have relatable in the top 5?
We did not. Let's put that in. We are going to trim it down to 3.
Oh no.
Oh no. I think my top 3, and then Eric, I'm interested to hear what yours are. My top 3 would be colloquially professional, playful, and relevant.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are colloquially professional, the byproduct of that is generally that we would be playful, because colloquial infers that we would be using more informal language. So my suggestion would be that we go with colloquially professional, relevant, and authentic.
That sounds good to me.
Works for me.
Right. All right. Boom. And same thing. These 3 are essentially extensions of these. So we're still going to be concise. Where it goes wrong is not with the business owners, it is with the team.
Mhm.
That's generally what happens, is because naturally the team is not as well versed in the intricacies of your brand, and that's ultimately when the brand becomes disjointed, because you round up 10 different people in the room and you ask them what's unique about the brand, chances are, in the vast majority of times, if there is not an active exercise being done like this, they're going to give you 10 different answers on what makes the brand unique and how the brand speaks. So it's vital. I think Erica, you mentioned this, is the world-class training that we would be providing to the reps. As part of that training, we should also be educating them on like the tenets of the brand beyond just how the subject matter area, let's say.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, and on that we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is our time for this segment. The final piece of the workshop is persona building. I have one that is pretty well built out. I will share my one after you guys share your one. So the types of things that we're going to be covering in the persona building, I'm going to just lay out the stuff to kind of, you can view this as a guideline. All right. So we're going to have, so the things that we will include are going to be goals, demographics, psychographics, pain points, and buyer's journey. I would like for you guys to be extremely specific. So I'm going to just give you the demographics of one of the ones that I have. I'm not going to tell you all of it. So, for example, I have 34, newly married, DINK, dual income, no kids, combined income 400,000 plus, healthcare executive. That would go, for instance, in the demographics bucket. I'm looking for some specifics like that. For the goals, why would they come to you? Pain points, self-explanatory. I won't elaborate on that. Psychographics, these are, I guess, how do they make decisions? Do they read stuff? What do they read? That type of thing. Buyer selling journey is what would make them come to you.
Well, we started talking through some of this when we met the other day, so we don't have like the concrete.
That's fine.
Elements of
That's
them.
okay. Yeah, that's cool.
But like one of the kind of vague profiles would be, similar to what you said, an older millennial, with a couple of kids, high income, maybe one of them is. So when I was creating this one, I was thinking about there's a gal who I'm hoping is going to want to use me to sell her house. She is 36, 2 kids. Husband used to play for the Minnesota Wild hockey team. They're getting a divorce. They need to sell their $1.5 million house in Excelsior and buy 2 smaller houses for each individual. So it's in an ideal world, it would be 3 transactions out of the one person.
Let's go into the psychographics. Who are these? Let's call her Jane. Who is Jane? How does she look at TikTok videos on luxury real estate, or what does Jane do?
Jane spends time on Instagram and Facebook. Jane reads a lot of self-help books, is into personal development. Jane spends a lot of time drinking wine with her girlfriends.
Is Jane looking for a long-term investment, or is she looking for appreciation, or
Jane's looking for a next step home that will take care of her for the time being. So theoretically, from this buyer, from this client, we could potentially have a sale of a giant house, purchase of two smaller houses, and then step ups for both of them after that. So this could potentially be 5 transactions in the next 3 years from this one person.
What are some of Jane's pain points?
I think a lot of people in her situation, a pain point would be like a fear of overpaying or
Mhm.
purchasing the wrong house.
Mhm.
That's great.
And also a kind of a time crunch.
Yeah.
A pain point might be navigating the
Yeah.
steps, the mortgage process and the buying.
Give me one more if you have it.
She's overwhelmed.
Because?
She is going through one of the worst emotional chapters of her life while also trying to figure out math.
Right. Hates math. Just like me. Just like me. Achilles, the maths brain of our operation, that's for sure. All right, perfect. Now the buyer's journey. What would get Jane to reach out to your amazing real estate firm, or what does she want from an agent is another way to phrase it.
Jane wants somebody who's just going to take care of her, who knows it inside and out, and who's going to help kind of take the reins for her. Jane needs clean, efficient communication because she got kids. She got stuff.
What type of content would Jane like to see?
Jane wants to consume content that makes her feel empowered.
I'm putting words in your mouth. Tell me if they're the wrong words. Empowered to make informed decisions, or
empowered in her ability to be able to move through this, and empowered in her ability to make decisions.
we're going to call her in transition Jane. All right, that's the label that we're going to give to her.
Right.
All right, so in transition, Jade.
So in transition, Jane's goals are to sell her big ass house. Oh no, she doesn't. Does she have a big ass house, or she's upgrading to a big ass house?
So this Jane has a big ass house,
Okay,
but is getting divorced.
got it. Okay, perfect. All right, so she's selling a big ass house, and she needs individual home for herself. The divorced partner also needs a home. And then you said a third home. Is that for the children, or
No,
what
I
would
was
you-
just saying they're going to get some sort of transition house.
Okay, got it.
And then in a couple years, they're each going to need to step up
Yeah.
to something.
Yep, I'm with you. The demographics, she is an older millennial, 36 years old. She has 2 kids. Her husband played pro hockey, and they are in the process of getting divorced. Spends her time, let's say, following luxury real estate accounts on Instagram and Facebook. She enjoys self-help books. She emphasizes both professional and self-development, and she enjoys hanging out at the Soho house, drinking wine with her girls.
That's right.
Her pain points: she has a fear of overpaying. Obviously, there's urgency around the sale and also the purchase. She's navigating a complex buying process. She's overwhelmed due to the worst emotional chapter in her life, and she also hates maths, like Rez. And she wants somebody who will take control of the situation, somebody that has her best interest at heart, somebody who is a responsive and efficient communicator, and she wants to see content on her feed that empowers her ability to get to the finish line and also make informed decisions around, for instance, what does a typical selling or buying process look like and how you can make it a lot easier. Is that all accurate?
Yes.
All right. Anything else that I missed or want to add to this? I think it's pretty solid, but just asking the question.
Yeah, I think that's Jane.
Can I give you my one?
Uh-huh.
Seminar number 2 is called Power Move Priya.
So what I have here is, she is 34. You know what, let me just bring my notes here real quick. So she's 34, newly married, DINK, so dual income, no kids, combined income of 400K, and she's a healthcare exec. Let's just put exec. Her goals are purchasing a first luxury home. She views it as a status symbol and an investment. Her psychographics are, she is brand conscious and follows luxury accounts of all sorts. She makes a decision based on status and long-term investment potential. And she is active on both TikTok and Instagram, and follows luxury real estate accounts, which we can put here. So RE plus. Her pain points are heavily influenced by lifestyle portrayal. She wants an agent who understands her aspirations. Let's say, wants relatable agent. She likes that your agents are invite only, by the way.
She would.
And responds
well to video content showing property lifestyle possibilities. And her buyer's journey includes, I just flipping made a bit of a hodgepodge with my notes here. So what I just actually went through were her buyer journey. So I'm just gonna, her pain points are, sorry for my scratch here. She's a first time buyer, luxury buyer. She is unfamiliar with high-end market. She's concerned about getting value and not being taken advantage of. And lastly, she needs education on luxury features worth investing in.
And that is Power Move Priya. Would you like to make changes to Power Move Priya, or does this align?
I think
that aligns.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, perfect. Great. So now we have 2 personas, and we also have 10 minutes left on the clock. Good job, guys. High five. So now we're not going to get into this, but the next part is obviously, all right, so these are the personas that we want to attract. What are going to be the channels that we use to deploy? And then of course, then is going to become, what are the assets that we need. So for instance, as we mentioned, Power Move Priya responds positively to video content. So if that is a thing, then that means we need to create video content. And you know, a friend of mine uses this analogy, and I have not forgotten it. So I can't take credit for the analogy because I didn't create it. But he always says, when you send out invitations to the party, you want to make sure that there is food and drinks for the guests, because if there is no food and drink for the guests, they're going to come to the party and then they're going to bounce. What that analogy means in this respect, if before we launch our brand, we need to make sure that we have relevant assets in accordance with the personas. So that way, when we're like, hey, world, we're up, we're running, the world flocks and the world gets nurtured because they see all of this amazing content. What we don't want to do is launch prematurely, and then we're kind of in this state of limbo where we're figuring it out as we're going, and now we're on that rat race and everybody's anxious and overwhelmed, and the team is losing their mind. So that's kind of what the next step would overall be. But these are great. We ended up with 2 personas. Generally, we advocate for 3 to 5, because otherwise, you know, what most people generally tend to do is they have a fear of niching down, because by definition, you alienate a subset of the market. But by not niching down, you ultimately alienate everyone. And that, you know, that's happens so often. It's great because you both have a very specific, clean vision, I would say, in terms of your ideal customer profile. And then naturally, as we go and we do things, we will find that certain things are outperforming others. The other thing, searcher intent. All right, searcher intent is defined as what me as the user or your targeted buyer is searching for when I'm looking for your services or similar services. What often happens is business owners misunderstand searcher intent and use wrong words in their messaging. For example, you might use cash on cash return. First time luxury buyer has no clue what cash on cash return means, you know, so we need to simplify the language in the manner in which the user is actually searching for it, because it's highly unlikely they're using technical real estate terms. Instead, they're looking for how to buy a home after divorce, for example, right? So it's very important that we understand searcher intent, because if we misunderstand it, it doesn't matter how great our brand is, we are just not going to get found and discovered, and we don't want that. So that searcher intent is all part of the content creation process to make sure that, again, the content is hitting, it's converting, and also increasing overall brand awareness. And that is our branding workshop complete. We have 5 minutes on the clock still left. I would love to just get your guys' thoughts, comments, feedback, anything.
Just as like a note to add in the margin for 2 additional personas, Erica had brought up when she and I met and chatted, was like that similar, like wealthy couple, maybe they're executives, they are starting to have children and they need a much larger home. And so they're stepping up into a larger, nicer home, coming out of the dink lifestyle, having kids, but need the space. And then the other one she had was the wealthy retiree who needs to downsize.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
And those were kind of,
Yeah.
in a nutshell, the ones we had.
That's great. You know, the wealthy retiree one is a very interesting one because it's also vastly contrasts the other ones, obviously, given that those are millennials. So, you know, I think it would be interesting to see whether that type of content is outperforming or the young millennial content, or maybe but we find that both are, in which case we double down a little bit on each of those and see and create 2 different niches. What we'll just want to be mindful of, and this is just kind of thinking ahead, is that in terms of your overall digital footprint, you're going to find that we'll need to design in a very different way. So whether it's unique landing pages geared towards each audience, but this is just a consideration that we should have in mind. But it's 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
Was it good?
This has been fantastic. In the whole deal, like we need to rename our company and we need to come up with all of the things. I'm gonna shoot you over just a couple of names that we've workshopped just so you kind of see what direction we're heading in. You won't be surprised by them based on this entire conversation.
Cool.
Thank you for this.
Good. We're glad to hear that you got value out of this spreading workshop. We love doing them. It's great. And we love doing it for you guys. You're very engaging and prepared. We don't normally get that luxury.
You can thank Kate for that. She was like, we need to prepare.
I was like, I am not showing up to a meeting with this unprepared. We have to meet. You have to clear your schedule. We're meeting.
And that is the end of our workshop. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was valuable. We've covered a lot here. Let's talk about brand guide, website, and what we want to do next. Thanks for coming very prepared to this workshop. We appreciate it.